Hey, everybody, welcome into The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast. This is episode 173. I'm your host, Hexpat, along with my co-hosts and contributors, Burley of Burleyman Gaming and Turn-Based Carl. So we're going to be talking about the Summer Game Fest event today in today's episode. So how you guys doing, Burley? How are you?
I'm doing good. Just got my new chair. I just got that set up literally just before the podcast. So
Yeah,
testing
what
it out.
happened with the
Nice.
old chair? What was
So
going on with that?
yeah. So last year, early last year, my chair that I had for years broke. So I had to buy a new chair, and because like I work from home and that, I need like a comfortable chair, and like I didn't have time to build anything really. So I quickly got into the one shop, bought the one gaming chair that was a floor model
Mm-hmm.
because it was a cheaper price and something I could get that day
Yeah.
and have something ready to go. So that way, because in my line of work, when you're working off a monitor, just your laptop one screen compared to two screens, it's just so hard to do
Mm-hmm.
everything. So like, okay, let's just do that. But yeah, the lift on my chair broke, and it's like I could rebuy a new lift for quite a bit of money, but it was like, okay, let's just get a new chair. Screw this. I ordered it from Amazon, and so far so good.
Nice. And Carl, how you doing? I see you're wearing the Father's Day shirt a week early. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I wear it pretty often, so no.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I'm here and recovered from my illness.
Nice. And what illness was that?
Pink eye, basically, or viral conjunctivitis.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, my daughter had it first, and then I got it, and it was in like one eye, and then both eyes, and like my face was like swollen. I felt like crap. I felt like my face just felt like someone punched me. But yeah, here we are.
Good. Well, it's good to see you. You know, you're back to full health and everything. So, in this
Feeling
episode, cool. So, like I said, we're going to be talking about the Summer Game Fest that happened just yesterday now. So, yeah, we're going to talk about a lot of the games that they showed off there. So, but the first thing I want to ask you guys about this, when it comes to the Summer Game Fest and all. So, I mean, compared to the previous years, I mean, this year, a lot of people were saying, "Oh, it was meh, it was okay." There were some cool announcements and all, which we're going to be talking about. But compared to some of the other game fests, the summer game fests that they've had, this one wasn't so good compared to the others, and maybe is because of the fact that there weren't really a lot of big AAA games, and because of the situation in the industry now. Of course, Keeley talked about the layoffs at the beginning of the show, as well as because of the pandemic. There's still effects of the pandemic out there when it comes to some of these games that are being released. So before we get into the games themselves, my question to you guys is, compared to previous years, how do you think this year's Summer Game Fest compared to the previous year's events? Carl, we'll start with you, man.
Yeah, this wasn't a good year. I've been enjoying the Summer Game Fest events over the past few years. I think, if I remember correctly, and yeah, this year overall just didn't have like any big stuff to really get excited about. And I think even the smaller stuff, like not that any of it, not that it wasn't anything good, but they just didn't even have any like indies that I thought also were like a wow factor indie. I just wasn't good. There was nothing really. And I'm looking at like last year right now just to get an idea, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, like you got Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which I think was the first time we really saw it. Prince of Persia: Lost Crown, Mortal Kombat 1 was also like first gameplay. Sonic Superstars, Alan Wake 2 had a big gameplay reveal. Like a Dragon Gaiden. I don't remember if that was the first time we saw that, but it was there. Yeah, I mean, that was some significant stuff there. Pal World was there. Yeah, so this year, whatever. It is what it is. It's sad because it's kind of like after watching this show, even during it, when there was one point where I was like, oh man, there's 40 minutes left. I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, there's still 40 minutes of this. I was like, wrap it up when we get to the finale or something.
Yeah, I want to welcome in. I think I'm pronouncing this correctly. So, Shadi John Ho, thank you so much. Star Wars Outlaws for the win. Yes, definitely looking forward to Star Wars Outlaws coming out, and of course the Ubisoft Forward. We're going to be seeing a lot more of that game as well. So, thank you all for joining us and being in the chat. And yeah, so
Outlaws looks great, but like when that trailer came on, I was like, I've seen this already. I'm already sold on that game. Like, it didn't do anything for me to see it again here.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, about the Summer Game Fest. I mean, you have all of these other events, and they're going to be showing these games again. So it's like, why are they even showing those games there when they know that, it's going to be, there's going to be more gameplay that we might not have seen before at the Ubisoft event, say for Star Wars Outlaws and obviously for Assassin's Creed Shadows. But there were a lot of games at this event where, Keely's just like, and you're going to see more of it at the Ubisoft Forward, or you're going to see more of it at Developer Direct, So it's like that. And then for me, before I move it over to you, Burley, that crowd was so quiet. I mean, there wasn't, it felt like there wasn't so much enthusiasm. The people were just sitting there and just like, and then a little bit of clapping here, here and there. And there were some empty seats in that YouTube, center there. I mean, it didn't feel like an enthusiastic atmosphere at times during the event. So Burley, what are your initial thoughts?
Well, I think the empty seats were like when you go see that old school 80s band and they're like, we're going to play the new hit off our record. All right, let's go get beer. Let's go get merch. This was not as good as this could have been.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things, like them to interrupt and be like, here, we got to show you stuff from Inside Out too. Oh, but we're going to tie it in because Yang Ya, who's now been doing some voice acting, is voice acting in this film. I'm like, no, we don't need this. We don't need this. Cut this out. I know you're doing this because Pixar and Disney wrote you a check, and so you need that. But I'd rather let's keep focusing on the games here. This is what this is. If I want to see stuff about Disney and Pixar, I'll watch D23.
Yeah,
and stuff like that. And some of these games, but Ubisoft has done this all the time, where even though they have their own forward event, they'll show stuff that when PlayStation, like back when we had E3, they would show at PlayStation's E3, show at Microsoft's E3, and then show at stuff at Ubisoft Forward.
Mm-hmm.
So just to keep the conversation going. Yeah,
the Star Wars Outlaws. I mean, it worked last year when they had Xbox Showcase revealed the game for the first time with like the CG story trailer, and then you saw the gameplay, which was a long segment, right? Too long to really be in like the Xbox Showcase at the Ubisoft event. But just to see more again,
the little 40 seconds it had.
Right, and then knowing Ubisoft Forward's gonna show it again, what more are they gonna show that I don't know who's not sold on that game already? Like, if it's either you know you want it already, or you don't want it.
Yeah.
So the page I'm showing here, this is from Eurogamer, but let's go ahead and get to the first. I want to show the first Lego Horizon Adventures. That was pretty surprising. I mean, and I'm excited for this. And I don't know if any of you out there are, but I mean, those of you that are fans of Horizon Zero Dawn and Horizon Forbidden West, we're getting a treat from Lego here. So my question to you guys, when it comes to Lego Horizon Adventures, what were your thoughts on the blending of the Horizon series with the Lego elements in this, and how do you think this crossover will appeal to the fans of the franchise, of the Lego franchise, and for the Horizon franchise? Burley, I'll start with you.
Well, I think I think it'll appeal because you can have people where older and younger gamers kind of come together, and so you have that, and just because we don't know for surely on the story if it's going to be just a simple retelling, or if they're doing their own original kind of story. We don't know that, so it's an interesting to see where this is going to go. But like this, we've been hearing rumors, and I've been like, oh, I'm curious. This is looking like it's more the older school Lego style games instead of the big open world kind of ones that we've been getting over the last couple of years. Just level based kind of, it's looking like, which is fine by me. I love these little Lego games. They're simple, but they're fun. They've got their creative charm and all that.
Yeah.
So and I am a huge Horizon fan, so which is really liked, but I will admit it did surprise me with the platforms. PS5, that was a known brainer. PC, that surprised me a little bit. The Switch,
yeah.
So I think they're really trying to get people in the Switch ecosystem. Try this out if they like the property. Maybe try to get out on the PC side or PlayStation side and check out Zero Dawn and Forbidden West.
Yeah, Carl.
Yeah, I don't know about this game. I'm skeptical because it's not made by TT Games, who made all the Lego games that we all know and love. I mean, there are other Lego games that have been made by the devs, right? But this is mainly Studio Gobo, I assume. That was like in the link there in the front of it. Gorilla's there too, which I'm sure Gorilla is not the lead, right? I'm sure they're just they're helping them along with it. And that studio is a support studio, so like it doesn't mean that they can't make something really good, but also the style of it is a little different. It is very much, it looks like this is the Lego movie stuff. Like she's a master builder, right? Like that's what they're doing here. And I don't know. I would have preferred it to just have been like the other style of games where like it's a Lego game in that world. It's not like the whole master builder thing is sort of like outside of like the universes that you go to, right? Like, like it's like Lego is an imaginary toy. It's not like an actual. It's not like a universe, a real thing, right? So like I don't know if it's gonna be in this game at all. Who knows? It's not for me. I'm not gonna play it. I haven't played a Lego game in a long time. They're fun though, but this again we don't know because this is not that same studio. And the platform thing, I mean, that's cool. I like that they're doing more platforms, but also I was like, you're not gonna put it on Xbox? Like, come on, that's rude.
Yeah.
Like I get it. I understand why, right? It's PlayStation, but like you're putting it on Switch. Also, a PC, I could have seen like just PC and PlayStation, but like you're putting it on Switch, why not put it on Xbox too? Like now you're just being like spiteful, like.
So do you think this is a slap in the face to Xbox, Carl, when it comes to the fact that most likely for the Xbox event that's coming up, I think it's tomorrow, it's rumored that 6 more IP from Xbox Studios is going to go multi-platform.
6? No, that ain't happening.
That's the rumor right now. But
I think at the showcase you'll see nothing going to PlayStation, right? They're not gonna talk about it. Same reason why this game was here and not at the State of Play, because they wanted to announce it for Switch and PC, but more I think the Switch thing, because they probably think like the audience might be there for this type of game, and they didn't. Obviously, I had to assume they didn't want to say for Switch at the State of Play. Just like Xbox will not say, even if it's something like Call of Duty, right? Which the Call of Duty Direct, separate from the Xbox Showcase, might actually have the PlayStation logo, right? But during the Xbox Showcase, if there's a trailer for Call of Duty, let's say, I don't know if they're going to have a PlayStation logo. and certainly anything like rumored Doom, like Dark Ages, will probably be multi-platform, but probably won't be logo for PlayStation 5 at the Xbox Showcase, right? You'll get that in like a blog post, press release thing afterwards.
Burley, do you think this Lego Horizon here would be shown at the Adventures? Could be shown at one of the Nintendo Directs, the next Nintendo Direct when it comes out?
It could be shown in a Direct. I don't think it will be shown at Nintendo's main Direct that we've got coming at some point in this month, but it could come up in a future Direct. As for this not coming to Microsoft and Xbox platforms, it's like I can see it of two ways. Yes, a little spiteful slap, but more on another thing of why spend the money and put this on Xbox if it's not going to sell on Xbox?
I mean, why wouldn't that?
But how, like,
what's for most, what so much? Like, I get there's more kid audience, right? But like, is it really the kids are gonna play this too? I don't know. Like, people of all ages play these things.
Yeah, no, true enough. But I think they may not think it will sell on Xbox that much to make it the sense of putting it over, because let's be honest, on most games you hear do well on Xbox, you don't hear about the sales numbers on them. You hear about Game Pass subs on them and how well it's doing in Game Pass.
Yeah. Well, they don't report sales like ever.
So
I think it's I think it's the fact that they don't want it on their competitor. And Carl, I think it's kind of
Japanese companies only.
Yeah.
I'm like, look, obviously, everything sells less on Xbox than PlayStation, right? I mean, we know that, but that doesn't mean that it's not worth putting on that platform because you don't know what you're going to get out of it. Right?
True.
Well, especially when you're going to put it on Nintendo, and of course, with the player base on Nintendo, which is going to sell.
It's entirely likely that Switch sells the most copies of this game.
Oh yeah, I was going to say. Yeah. It sells 5 million on PlayStation, 2.5 on PC, 70 million on the Switch.
Wow, that'd be incredible.
I'm going crazy with the numbers. If it sells 70 million on the Switch, you heard it here, folks. Here's folks.
Let's go.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about the Harry Potter. So the Quidditch.
Oh, yeah.
So, Carl, I think you had some things that you wanted to talk about for the Quidditch game here. So,
because I just remember this was announced a while ago because everybody was like, "Where's Quidditch in Hogwarts Legacy?" And then they're like, "Oh, we're making a separate Quidditch game," and I was like, "Oh, that makes sense, yeah." Because so if you really want to do it right, you got to make a game that's like just for it because it's a sport, and it's like you got to make a full-fledged like sports game that like does justice to the actual rules, right, and mechanics.
Yeah.
And to have that just be like a side game, mini game in a big thing, it's just not going to be as good, right? So yeah, this is cool. And when I read about, I looked into it because I wanted to see some stuff about like what this is, and apparently it's a $30 game. It is launching day one into PS Plus Essential, which is cool. And it is no microtransactions, they said, which that actually surprises me. Yeah, that really surprised me. And you can play it solo, you can play it online co-op, or you can play it PvP online. It's like, it seems like it's like they're just like, here's a legit like, okay, Harry Potter Quidditch, like no nonsense. Like, you want the sport, there it is. And I don't know how good it's gonna be, but they're not like overpricing it, I think, and they're not like trying to make it some service thing.
So do you have to have Hogwarts Legacy to play this game?
No, completely unrelated.
No, it's completely unrelated. Okay, good. I was interested in that, and and this game and how well it's going to do. Burley, your thoughts on Quidditch?
Well, it's going to print the money.
Yeah.
Because people were dying for Quidditch in Hogwarts Legacy.
Right. And I'm surprised it wasn't, added to it, but yeah.
Yeah, I thought it would have been a DLC, but it makes sense. Make it your own game. Like hell, when EA had the license, I believe it was EA, they made their own Quidditch game back on the PS2, GameCube, and Xbox. So it makes sense. They're putting at a good price, I would say, because it's at that sweet price. People will be like, okay, it's like half the price of it. Any other full price game or new game, put it in. Launching into PS Plus surprised me. I was like, yay, PS Plus gets a win, something launching into it again.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So, and since I have PS Plus, it's like, all right, I have no excuse not to try this.
Right. So
Day one stream for Burley.
day one stream.
Depending the day it comes out, yeah, and because I get it free easy this way, the extra take will come pretty quick.
Yeah. So another game that I was surprised to see, and made its debut, Civilization 7. We had Sid Meier there, but it's generated some buzz. And so, what new features or innovations would you guys like to see in this next installment? And I'm going to go ahead and show it here. But what are you guys' thoughts on Civ?
Man, I
Civ 7?
cannot answer that because I've never played a Civilization game.
Oh, wow.
Really?
No.
Okay.
And when I saw this trailer, I was like watching it, and it's going through like the generation, the ages, and I'm like, oh, it's Civilization.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, like it's not like I didn't know there'd be another one, and they showed nothing, so I was like, whatever. Cool, I guess if you're happy to finally get your Civilization and like a confirmation.
Burley, how about you for Civ 7?
It's been a long time since
It
I
has.
played Civ.
It has. Yeah.
Yeah, like I know Civ 6 was, I think, 2016.
Yeah.
So it's been a long time, I think. And I never played 6. I played 5 because that came out back when I was in college. I played 5, but it's been so many years since I've played Civ. But it's nice to see it back. Everyone thought this because this was 2K's reveal. They're like, oh, this is going to be Borderlands. They just got Gearbox. It's going to be Borderlands. It's going to be Borderlands. It's going to be Borderlands. And people are like, what? Civilization? And they're like, oh, yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like the trailer looks all right, but it's just like you're not really showing anything. But I guess in all honesty, when we do get something, it's Civ 7. It's been a long time, and whatever small changes they've made. The formula,
right.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate these type of games are hard to show. So like, I get why you show that type of thing, because there was that other game. Was it Battle of Aces? Maybe was the name of it at this event. I don't know if is this gonna go through everything? Are we gonna get to everything, or you think
we're not going to go through every single game?
Then I'll bring up Battle Aces now, because that game had a banger animated like CG like thing, right? The animation like thing that was going on with these like mechs and jets and just awesome battle stuff going on. I'm like, this looks incredible. But then in my head, I was like, what is it gonna play like? And then like I'm like, we're not gonna see it. And then they're like, oh, here's the guy who made one of the makers of the game, and they're gonna show us gameplay. I'm like, oh, cool. What's it gonna be? And then this freaking RTS. Yeah. And I was like, and it looked really generic. I was like, come on.
Yeah, I mean, that's another thing back to these showcases. I mean, half of the games, probably more than half of the games they showed didn't even have any gameplay in them. They were just cinematic trailers. So, and
we all love.
Yeah, I mean, and the reason for that is because the game is so early in development, they really don't have anything to show yet. So with Civilization 7, probably there's not much to show. It was mentioned, I think, when they showed the little Sid Meier piece there, that they were going to show more of it later, I think at Gamescom in August. But yeah, so I mean, it's people that come into these showcases that have the expectation that all they're going to show is gameplay and stuff like that, that they're going to be highly disappointed, I think,
Yeah. But then going right into this next one, Black Myth Wukong, I mean, like, why are you showing that again without gameplay? Like, we've already seen gameplay. What are you doing?
Yeah. And what are your feelings, Carl? I mean, the fact, I think it's not coming to Xbox right away. I think it's like being delayed.
I was a little worried that it just wasn't coming at all. So like when I saw that it was delayed, I was like, all right, like that sucks, but I'm gonna get it. Like, Xbox is a second class citizen right now. Like, and that's because PlayStation, sells more copies, and you're gonna focus there. And there's also the Series S side of it, which it's a bit more work, I'm sure. For them to get these two versions right, running the way they want. So I'm like, I don't know. Like, it sucks, but like I get it. And what's your alternative? Like they delay the PlayStation version, which financially speaking, maybe that doesn't work, right? Maybe they chose the state and like, we're not going to do that, right? Or the other option is like release the Xbox version in a bad state. Like, you don't want that either. So
right.
It's coming. I doubt it'll be a long delay. Kind of like Baldur's Gate 3. Wasn't very long.
But Burley, what were your thoughts? I mean, this was another example. We didn't really get any true gameplay of this. It was just like a minute and a half cinematic trailer here.
The only reason this showed up here is because, hey, this game is coming out in August, to remind people. That's the only reason. Because the thing is like it got revealed. I think it was like for 45 seconds to a minute, it cost you $250,000 to run your trailer.
Yeah.
So
right.
You're hoping, and it's like on some of this stuff, it was just like, why are you spending this money for this?
Like that's a really good point too. That was a real buzzkill for this event. I saw a lot of people commenting on that. They're like, "Oh, they put that up for this," or "Oh, now I see why it's so short," or blah blah. Like everybody, a lot of comments like that. I think that really affected people's opinions of this show.
Oh, yeah.
Like if you're keyed in like we are,
Yeah. And then of course now here's the Warhammer, the Space Marines. I think Burley, you had some things you wanted to say about this one. Looks pretty good. Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and show some of it now. So
this has been a long time coming because I played the original Warhammer 40K Space Marine back in college, and it was like when this finally got announced that we're getting a sequel, and like that we're heard a few weeks ago that this game is coming in September because it got delayed. And it's like just seeing it here in gameplay, I'm loving this. All the different weapons, and you can do this by yourself or with friends doing co-op, multiplayer, and all sorts of stuff. All the different modes they're having is like, this looks great.
Yeah.
But it was a good little trailer for here, but it was a little too short. That's the thing, because it's just short. Like it gives me that small taste, but I want to see more. So I'm hoping at some of these other events in Gamescom we see it, because my thing is the only thing, like, I want this game, but it's like because of how much more expensive this game is going to be now compared to when the first one was. It's like, you need to show me a lot to justify that high price tag of $101 over here in Canada.
Yeah. Again, that whole like, it costs X amount, like $250,000 to like
per minute.
To show this. I'm like, and then you're thinking like, that's why it was so short. But then I'm also thinking like, well, you cut a trailer that doesn't tell me anything, right? Like, I like usually a video game trailer, like you're trying to convey something, right? About it. Like a good one is like, all right, look at this particular feature, right? You're highlighting this particular element of the game that maybe you haven't shown, especially for Space Marine 2, which we've seen a couple times, but I feel like they've never really like keyed us in, focused us on a specific element. Like maybe that's more of what I want to see. Like show me like like a 2-minute section of actually playing the game, because I think it's very cinematic, and you could do that with this type of game, and that would be awesome. But I've never gotten a moment where like I sat down and saw that game, how it feels, and like I understand it. I just don't. And I think that's a big problem with this event now. And I gotta wonder, like, you don't think PlayStation, Nintendo, and Xbox are charging these companies money to put trailers in their showcases, right? Probably not.
God no. If they're charging money for some of those trailers, like especially let's go back to the one State of Play last year with that one just weird walking guy and them trying to be funny with it.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. I remember
That if they charge money for that, they got ripped off spending money on like
Yeah. Yeah, you know, when it comes to the Warhammer trailer here, I mean, I think it's more for the effect of what's in the game that they want to show within that 1 minute or whatever, you know, the blood, the gore, the violence, the action and stuff like that. That's what these gamers kind of want to see. And I think that's why they make these.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, it's also what Burley was saying about Wukong, where it's just like, hey, remember this game? Like,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
like,
Remember this game? It's coming. And they're putting a lot of pressure on Europe for Gamescom, because now everybody's going to expect lots of, gameplay when it comes to these trailers that are going to be coming for these games coming up in August that they didn't show yesterday. So, yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
I mean, sorry, hold on. I'm just
Go ahead, Carl.
Stupid light thing, but Gamescom is an event where they actually have people like playable games there. So, I mean, that's fine. Like that, I don't know. Like the show is the big thing. It's so much as like it's a show floor, and you get to play all this stuff.
Right. Yeah. So, next up, Metaphor Refantasio. I'm really excited for this. The next big game from Atlas. Yeah, so they showed off more of it. So, Carl, your thoughts on Metaphor? So yeah, it's looking good, man. I'm really excited for it.
It looks incredible. Every time I see it, I'm like, God, this looks so good. I actually, they had its own little showcase. I didn't watch it. I forgot.
Yeah, actually, there was an event out here in Japan. Yeah, so yesterday. So
yeah. I watched this is the second one of its own little showcase, and it just looks like it's going to be amazing. Like, I feel like this is, a game of the year contender type game. Like, like Persona 5 Royal was. Like, this is their big thing, and I hope it lives up to that. There's a lot of differences to this versus Persona, and that's cool. We don't need it to be the same thing.
Yeah.
But I think there's enough of that signature style from Atlas in that series where it's going to give you those vibes at least.
Yeah.
It was really interesting. They had the Xbox logo at the beginning of the trailer.
Yes.
And at the end, there was no PlayStation logo still. Which, I mean, I get it's because it's the marketing thing, but I'm like, that's a big deal, I think, for Xbox to have like the very serious marketing deal on this, where they're only showing Xbox logos on it.
Yeah. I just want to say one thing about the translation stuff too. I applaud the translators that come on stage with these developers, but I have to admit, all of this has probably been scripted beforehand, and it's been memorized. So it's not like on the fly translation stuff that is on this stage when it comes to the Japanese to English translation. So anyway, that's just my 10 cents on
That's
it.
good. That's good, because there are some times where I watch these translations and the guy will be talking for quite a while.
Yeah.
And then he has to translate. I'm like, there's no way he's gonna get all that. It's not possible.
Right. It's not on the fly. No, it's all scripted. Yeah. So
it's all scripted, or you just see the translator. Can you get the teleprompter bigger?
Yeah, Burley, your thoughts on Metaphor here? It's looking good.
It looks good. I'm very interested to see how this game comes out and how it's going to get received.
I was gonna say it's very different from the usual Persona game, I think. So when it comes to the characters and all, so there you go, Carl Xbox, yeah. So.
Which hey, nothing wrong with that. Do something different.
Yeah.
But for one thing, please make the game flow a little better than some of their other Atlas games, and you don't need your RPGs to be 100-something hours just to beat the story.
Right.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. Yeah, October, man. Yeah. So
I mean, Persona 5 is very long, right? And then Royal is even longer.
yeah, it's like 150 hours. Yeah,
But
at least.
I don't know like what it is about the style of Persona, and it works for I think Reload, 3, Reload, and 4 and 5, like those three, where that game loop, right? The design of it, I just love it so much that like I don't care that it's that long. Like I just want to keep playing this game and keep going. Not that where I didn't think like 3 had some points in the story that dragged, but I just enjoy that. It's just comforting. I don't know what it is. It's like it just works for me.
Yeah. It's gonna be a great game, and it's gonna sell very well, I think. So I'm really excited for it. So, and of course, Persona 3 Reload's getting some other content as well too. So excited to see that.
I'm trying to remember. Did I pre-order? I think I did. I think I pre-ordered like the collector's edition on this game. Just
Metaphor
for Metaphor.
Wow.
That's
I
awesome.
was like, I can decide later because you don't have to pay up front. And I was like, all right, I'll just do it. We'll see what happens.
So we got some VR gaming as well in here, and it's like this Arkham Shadows. When I first heard this, oh man, another Arkham game is coming. I was like, anticipating like a regular, game, not VR. So, but anyway, we got this, announcement for the Batman Arkham Shadows. So, I mean, what were your guys' thoughts on this one? And my question to you guys and we got the Asgard's Wrath 2 VR as well. So, what were your thoughts on the VR gaming that were aspects of what they showed here at the the Summer Game Fest? And is it pushing the boundaries at all, or do you think this is just everybody's just whatever, and especially with this Arkham Shadows game? Carl?
Man, I checked out when this came on because I knew it was VR. I'm like, I don't care. Like, I'm never gonna play it. I don't have a VR. Like, I know, like, if I was gonna get one, it would be the MetaQuest 3, right? And this is exclusive to the MetaQuest. Right. But I don't know. And it's not made by Rocksteady, right? It's like whatever. It's some other studio making an Arkham-like game in VR.
Mm-hmm. Burley.
Yeah, I gotta agree with Carl on this. Like, this is just like, this is VR stuff. VR, as I've said many times, does not move the needle for me. It's just not my thing. Mm-hmm. We're still way too early in VR. Like, God bless them, keep trying and making games, but this just doesn't move the needle to me of like, oh my God, I need this VR game. Like just here, this CG here. Mm-hmm. It's just
it's like no gameplay.
No gameplay, so I don't see like, is it going to play like that Batman VR game that we got on the PSVR? Is this going to play like a different style? So we know nothing gameplay, and it's like, you're spending all this money to show me this? No thanks. I can do I can watch other things instead.
I have to admit though, Batman Arkham VR was cool. I really liked playing that. It was pretty awesome. So, but
dude, Metaphor Fantastic Collector's Edition, $150.
Jesus. Wow. Nice. All right, moving on. We got Street Fighter 6. We got more of that. We got some new characters coming to that. Tears of Metal. Now, this game, I mean, it was interesting, but you know what it really made me think of? I'm going to show this here. So let me go ahead and get to the part here. I want to show.
I feel like I was distracted during this one too.
Yeah. Okay. But anyway, I mean, this game, it's like the Scots and all, but I mean, this main character that they're showing off here, it just reminded me of the dwarf in Lord of the Rings.
Gimli?
Yes. I mean,
Gimli, son of Goyim.
exactly. Yeah. I mean, but your thoughts on this one? I mean, it looks fun. Burley?
Oh yeah, this does look fun. This is
Mhm.
just I know some people may not like this. This is grab a beer, grab the controller, sit down, and just turn your brain off, have some fun, and drink.
It looks like there's a good amount of strategy to all the stuff you can do here. And then
Well,
when you
it just
actually
looks
play
like
it,
hack
though,
and
it's like
slash,
hack and
though.
slash,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah.
it's
This
like
is Dynasty Warriors, basically.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Like there's a layer on top that there's more going on, but like once you're in there, just hack them up.
Yeah. But it just looks like the dwarf, from Lord of the Rings. So.
Oh, it's
But yeah,
rogue.
co-op, yeah,
Okay, it's a
co-op.
rogue, like guys.
Yeah. So yeah, Tears
You know,
of the Metal.
Hey, quick. I just want to say, I think it's awesome that you got Terry Bogard and my Shiranui in Street Fighter 6.
Oh yeah.
Giving me that Capcom versus SNK flashback there. Maybe we get more, when we go to the future of the game. That's cool.
Dragon Ball, we got more of Dragon Ball coming. So yeah.
Dude, I see people excited for this game, and I'm like, I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm old and I've seen like 1,000 Dragon Ball fighting games. And I'm like, here's yet another 3D Dragon Ball fighting game that's probably not very good, or maybe it's okay, maybe it's fun enough, but like, and it's gonna retell all the same stories you already know. And like, I don't care, man. I don't.
Yeah, I get that. This one, they're doing the whole, you have a choice now when you're doing the story. Like, it was showing stuff. Do you join Piccolo in the fight, or do you just say screw it and do something else? Like, they have the choice system, but one of the things that like turned me off of this is like, as they're showing this, and they're like 20 DLC characters you can buy. It's like, seriously, like you're already making me like, I'm going to spend $101 on this, and then you want me to spend another $40 to get all these characters. And it's like, no, I'm done with that. That's the thing. Like, I've played enough Dragon Ball games throughout my time in my life, and it's like, I can't be bothered to be like, ooh, I need to drop and pay top dollar on this, and then be like, oh, some of the characters I really want in here are not going to be in the game, and I gotta spend extra for it. It's just like,
yeah. And like, I don't think the visuals are that great. I mean, like, it looks like Dragon Ball. So okay, sure, but like, I don't think it's amazing. Yeah. It's not like Dragon Ball Fighters, like Z. That one, the one that was the 2D one, by Arc System, which looked absolutely incredible. And it was, by the way, a legit like deep fighting game that felt amazing. And like, I doubt this will be true for this. I doubt.
And it actually now, Yamcha actually good.
Yeah. I doubt the characters are going to feel all that different playing in this game. Like, it's one of those games where like, basically everybody's sort of generic, and there's like probably like a few like styles of character, and it's much more casual. Like, I don't know.
Just go play some of the old Budokai games.
It's a new one for a new generation, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And I just want to say throughout this showcase, there a lot of the games, just the art styles and everything, very even the Western developed games now tend to have that Japanese anime aesthetic to it now. It's really interesting to see that. So I just wanted to throw that out there. So anyway, so Delta Force, Hawk Ops, saw some of that. And then, of course, Blumhouse games. Yeah, this was, of course, the horror aspect, a horror genre. So they're jumping into that. So we're getting lots of video games now that are being made into TV series. Obviously, Fallout has been very, very successful. And now we've got a Yakuza series coming. Can you believe that on Netflix? Oh man, I don't know about that, but we'll see. But that and yeah. So now they're doing the opposite, or basically Hollywood is now trying to make the video games. So in the horror element aspect of things now. So Blumhouse, what did you guys think of the game they showed off here? And it looks like they're coming out with multiple games that are going to be coming in the future. But what are your guys' thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not really into the horror movies
Mm-hmm.
and the Blumhouse stuff, so that doesn't really do anything for me. So what I saw was like, here's like, I don't know how many, like, it felt like 10 games or maybe less, and I'm like, I forgot every one of them already immediately after this thing. And like, you just showed me too much things to look at. Like, I don't know what to care about out of all of this. And they did it again later in the showcase with the Among Us people, right?
Yeah.
And like, I get it was nice. They're like, oh, we've got all this money or funding, we're funding all these smaller studios, whatever it was, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, but again, it's so many games. Like, I don't know what to care about. Like, I can't remember all this. So there's already a showcase with a ton of stuff, and you're gonna do like, you're gonna throw like, 6 to 8 games at me in a short span. Like, sorry, like, my brain don't work that way. I can't remember.
Yeah, a game that has a Ouija board in it is that's a definite plus. Yeah. Burley, your thoughts?
Yeah, these look all right, but these are just like, because you're doing this quick rapid fire of 15 seconds each or whatever it is, and going to the next one, it's like okay, I kind of would rather them just say, hey, we've got all these games, we'll show these off later.
Yeah,
just like, because the small sampling and then they cut in between each other, and it's just like
yeah, like, focus on 2, and then at the end, like, maybe like a quick sizzle and all the titles of all of the stuff they're doing, right? It's like, it's just too much.
Yeah, what was interesting though, when they showed all that, it looked like you had kind of maybe doubled AAA style, and then it had some elements of gameplay that looked like characters from like a game such as like Sea of Stars, Burley, or something like that. Or so it was interesting to see that. So all right, let's move on here. So Power Rangers. If you're into Power Rangers, they showed off that.
See, I'm not into Power Rangers, but I thought this was a really fun trailer and a really cool looking, like, here's one of those retro beat 'em ups, and the art style is cool, if you like that, the retro like that, and it looks super fun because actually it's doing, I think, a bit more interesting stuff from some of these beat 'em ups. I don't know how it's going to feel, but like, at least I'm seeing cool new aspects in that realm, and they're trying,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, no, like it looks good, and it's like, hey,
like that boss, that looks awesome.
Like, I grew up, I loved Power Rangers as a kid and stuff like that. I'm going back to the classic Power Rangers, good old school beat 'em up, because like, hey, when they redid the Turtles, that new Turtles beat 'em up in the Turtles collection of the classic beat 'em up, it's like, great, it proves there is still a market for these, and if you do them well. So it's like, hey, do one with Power Rangers, why not?
Yeah, like, they got these other, like, this roller coaster in one section. There's cool stuff going on.
And Japanese TV on the weekends, they still have Power Rangers. Yeah, it's like you have
Super Sentai, wasn't it?
Well, it's always a different iteration, but I mean, it's like they have Power Rangers first, and then after Power Rangers, they have Kamen Rider.
Oh, yeah. I hope it's good. It looks like a serious effort, and like, I don't want to like put down like the Teenage Ninja Turtles one, because it was fun, and I know they made another one which I didn't look at, but it was very much like, here's the thing you loved as a kid, but it looks a little better, right?
Yeah.
They didn't really push the envelope and make it anything like more modern. Whereas like I think Streets of Rage 4 was that, right? Where they really made something much more modern feeling.
Right. Okay, I want to get to this indie game because this is my indie game of the show right here, and I'm really looking forward to this. And this is from I think it's a French developer, so from Lifeline Game Studio. It's called Deer and Boy. So I really like this, and this is the type of game that'll probably make me cry a little bit playing it. So I mean, it looks beautiful. So let me go ahead and get into it here. So. You have a boy, and then you have a little fawn deer, and then that deer grows up, and as you play the game, it looks like a linear type of game here. You come and meet up with certain obstacles and certain bosses and things like that. So, but just the art style and everything is so beautiful in this game, and just the companionship and the friendship that and the bonding between a human and an animal. I mean, I'm really excited for this. What were your guys' thoughts on this trailer?
The art style looks so good on this. They really did an amazing job with it. It has me interested. Like this, that does at least show you gameplay. This is one of the trailers that will show you, hey, here's our art style and all this, but we'll actually show you gameplay. So it does have me interested for this.
Yeah, and as the fawn grows into more of an adult deer, it's like as it shows here that there are different obstacles that it helps you to, like with climbing and everything else, and with combat. I would imagine as well. Carl, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I get that sort of like Limbo and Inside vibes. Like, hopefully it's of that caliber, right? Where it's telling a powerful story through this very beautiful visual side-scrolling sort of puzzle action-y thing. Yeah. Cool. It's funny though. I thought it was called Deer Boy.
Okay.
I looked at it super quick and I didn't think about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, Deer and Boy. Got it. That's better. That makes more sense.
Yeah. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I mean, when I looked at this trailer, I didn't see much difference when it comes to the graphics and the art style from the first game. I mean, I just think it's like copy and pasting, basically. I don't know, but and I don't know how the story is going to be different and move on from the first game. But what were your guys' thoughts on Kingdom Come Deliverance 2?
Yeah, I mean, they showed this already, right? Like, didn't they have their own big trailer reveal not too long ago?
There was a reveal, I think, in February, was it?
Yeah, it wasn't that long. I don't know. Yeah, it was relatively recent, but so I was like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna see this game again. Like, I played some of the first one on Game Pass, and I thought it was really interesting. I did want to play more. I just don't know what. I think probably was something else I was playing at the time. So yeah, seeing it again here, but like, it's another one of those things where it's okay. Here's more of something you saw. Like, cool.
Yeah, and little bits and pieces of cinematics within the game. So, but it looks like the first one. I don't know, Burley, your thoughts?
Yeah, this does look like I get that where you're thinking this looks like the first one. Yeah, it looks like. Oh, sorry. I thought people just got home. I thought they were pulling open the door here. So sorry about that. Just cutting off there. Yeah, like from what I see, nothing has shown me on this that of like, I need to go try this right now. Just seems like a game like I'll eventually try to it, but it's nothing rushing to make me want to play this right now.
Yeah, and it seemed like a lot of the trailer that they showed here wanted to, show the comedic aspects of this game, so to make it, look appealing. So
Yeah, I think it looks really good actually, and I hope
Mhm.
it's really good. I don't think visually it needs to be that different. I think it's fine if it's like a smaller upgrade, but like they're doing more gameplay wise because
Yeah.
that's what it does look like to me.
Mhm.
I think they're very ambitious. The first one was very ambitious. Like it had a lot of bugs, but it was doing a lot of things where I was impressed. Right, so like maybe they got it down for the second one. But it's one of those games also where like I prefer like more fictional supernatural stuff.
Uh-huh.
And this is just like sort of real world-ish, pretty much real world.
Yeah.
Of that
Mhm.
era. And
Yeah.
it's not bad, but sometimes I just want like, throw some magic, throw some monsters,
Yeah, like medieval conquest type of stuff,
Yeah.
if you're into that.
Not necessarily my style, but I do think it could be really good.
All right, let's move on. Okay. Bokeh Game Studios. Now, I don't want to translate what that means into English because I don't think people would want to hear that. So
I'm gonna look right now.
Bokeh Studios. Anyway, so Toyama-san, yes, creator of Silent Hill and Forbidden Siren. So Slitterhead. So probably one of the strangest of the trailers that were shown here, in the horror element aspects of it. So what did you guys think of this one? Slitterhead. Yeah. Okay. That's what it said. I don't want to say what that means.
I'm just waiting for Carl's reaction. We'll see it on his face.
I'm not seeing anything like
you won't, Carl, because there's direct translation to it, but I know what it means, and I don't want to.
Okay, you're gonna have to tell us after this.
Yes, I'll tell you afterwards. Yeah. So, but anyway, let's get to the gameplay here, or the trailer. So, just I mean, weird as normal when it comes to these types of games, this style of game. Yeah. So, a little bit of Ghostwire Tokyo kind of vibes to it. But anyway, thoughts, guys?
I didn't really pay attention to this one again. It's another one that I kind of like spaced on, and I remember this game from before, and I just kind of.
Is it coming to Xbox, Carl?
I don't know. Is it? I feel like this was one that was a Game Pass one. I don't remember. Like it sounds familiar.
Yeah, but anyway, so.
Like it looks interesting because it's like it looks like you got more combat more combat stuff compared to like a Silent Hill.
Yeah.
Is it like
yeah.
I guess it looks cool.
Like, it looks cool, but I'll be interested to keep my eye out and see how this game comes out, because just because it looks good here on a trailer does not mean the game is going to come out like this exactly.
Oh my god, what is this gun that he's got? Such weird stuff going on in this game.
Look at that though. Look at that. Yeah, it's like his arm was like cut off.
Firing off his hand.
Yeah, just
all right. This looks
slings
cool.
it back. Yeah.
Forget it. I should have been paying more attention. This looks I like
even the dog. Yeah, even the dog. Yeah, freaks out. Yeah. So
you know what? Since you brought up Silent Hill 2, and I want to mention, like, I don't understand why people don't think that game looks good. Like, I get that it's not like Resident Evil remake, right, level. I don't think you should have expected that. Like, it's Konami money for one. Like, they're not going to put that much behind it, and it's Uber as well. Like, when I look at that remake, I'm like, that looks like Silent Hill 2, but like more modern. Like, I don't know what more you really wanted from it. I think it looks visually good, fairly updated, not like super high end, but like high enough end of today to be like, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
And gameplay wise, I'm like, that looks better than Silent Hill used to be, because Silent Hill 2 gameplay is not very good. So I don't know. You should be expecting a lot more. Like, what do you want? Like this amazing, action gameplay? Like, that's not Silent Hill.
Yeah.
Just
Killer Bean.
Sorry.
That's all right. Good old Killer Bean. Yes. So this is a game that I thought was pretty cool and excited for. So Burley, your thoughts on Killer Bean? Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Who doesn't want to be a little bean and just
I
go around
know.
and just shooting other beans?
I know. This
Yeah.
looks fun as hell. I mean,
Oh
I'm
yeah.
excited for this
This
one. Yeah.
this is like earlier. Just grab a drink, grab the controller, and
Yeah.
just have some fun.
That's right.
Turn your brain off. I love that. Just using your bullet to bounce their bullet, and
Yeah, and it's like it's funny how the bean just keeps bouncing around and like shooting and everything it shoots at it he hits it. It hits a target. It's just yeah.
the bean is like Ardle in all those '80s action films, never missing and just hitting everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
See, you're a bean taking on a mech. What's not to love?
I know.
10 out of 10 game of the year.
Exactly. It takes on everything. Yeah.
Why a bean though? Like whatever.
Why not a bean, girl? It's the real
You know
answer.
what?
Yeah.
You got me.
Maybe the developers love coffee. I mean, it's just they were thinking of coffee beans, and it's like, okay, we'll just use a bean. So good stuff. Yeah, look at that. Look at that.
Just the break dance.
I know, man. I know, it's great.
Oh, this is just someone
Like,
was
silly
high
fun.
as all hell.
Yeah.
And just came up said the idea in a meeting, and
That sounds
people
great.
like
Yeah, this looks fun.
And everybody went along with this idea. Like, that sounds awesome. We got to do that. They were all high.
early.
Yeah, early access. Yeah.
Okay. Here's what I got for bokeh. So I got like to not be in your right mind, or be going senile, or getting dementia, or jet lag, or being half asleep, and then just also
Okay, well, but in Japanese conversation, if you say bokeh, it doesn't bode well for the conversation and those that you're talking to. It's hateful speech. So I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
So anyway,
okay. I could see it being that way if you're saying like calling someone senile, like, or even just stupid as it here is. That's enough.
Yeah. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on. So, Karn. This was my second favorite indie game, and they also showed this at the developer direct as well, or the Day of the Devs. I'm sorry, Day of the Devs.
Oh yeah,
and this is a climbing game, and it looks really really fun and challenging.
Survival.
Exactly. So, survival when it comes to climbing and all, but and challenging. So I really liked what I saw of this game. So I'm going to go ahead and show a little bit of it here for you. So let me go ahead and scan the video here and get to the point. There we go. So So if those of you that like to climb, this would probably definitely be a game for you. I mean, the challenge of getting to the summit, and it looks like a lot of fun. What are your guys' thoughts on Karn? Burley?
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, like this looks all right. Like it looks good. It's just not something I could see myself wanting to sit and play, because this is giving me Shadow Colossus the vibes, where I'm going to be spending 20 minutes just climbing.
Yeah, but it kind of gives you the feel for the life of a professional mountain climber.
Oh yeah,
what they go through and all. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that stuff is all cool. Just like I'm just saying, I don't think this is a game for me, but I can understand why people are curious and want to play this.
Yeah. And I like this. I like this part at the end here. It's like they think they get to the summit, and then they look up, and they're only just beginning, basically. Yeah. So, yeah. Carl, go ahead.
I like the idea of the survival element to it, so that like the climbing looks more technical, right? But then it's also about, all right, like I have to plan, where I'm going to put my pitons and like, plan my route and how I, think is the best way to go, and then like I had to conserve my energy and stamina, and you can like camp out like on the side, while you're climbing, and like, I don't know, that seems cool. It does seem like there's just interesting gameplay elements to it.
Yeah, it reminds me of like professional climbers at Yosemite National Park in California. They actually, they camp like halfway up, like El Capitan, for example. They have tents like that, where they just they tent for the night, halfway up the peak. So, yeah, amazing. It's amazing stuff. So, yeah, I'm really excited for this game. Looking forward to it. So we got some other games. Wonder Stop here. Unknown 9 Awakening. So Scanda. Enotria, the last song. So yeah, I mean, some of these games had already been shown off before. So the first Descendant, we got some
that was a cool trailer content. And then I checked out what the actual game is, and it's just not that interesting to me. Like, it's like a free to play sort of like not Destiny almost, but what's that other one? That other free to play game with like the mechs, the mech suits or something. I forgot the name of it. Damn it.
Free to play mechs.
Yeah, long running game. Not like big mechs, like sort of robot armor suits, like. It's gonna drive me crazy. I can't remember.
No, we can think about that later. But anyway, so this trailer here.
The trailer looks like it makes it look really cool. Like, characters are interesting and everything, but then it doesn't look like something I would play.
Yeah, I mean the suits that they're wearing, very the futuristic looking suits and all, kind of remind me of what is it? Some of the suits that are even in Stellar Blade. I mean, it looks like so, but
yeah.
I mean, but it didn't show a lot of gameplay here, just all cinematics, basically.
That's the thing. You can go online and see like a lot of gameplay. There's like 2 hours of gameplay in one video I saw.
Right.
It's like in beta or something like that.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's interesting. So another game to look forward to here. So the first Descendant. So got that. Outer Sloth. We got some of that as well. So then the Among Us, the animated series. So yeah, another example of video games now coming to TV. So I don't know how well that's going to do. I mean, it looks like it's more of an animated type of series. So we'll see how it does. But
Minecraft's getting one too. Do you see that announcement?
Yeah. The Minecraft series.
About time.
Yep. Burley, Sonic Shadow Generations. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, see, I love the actual original Sonic Generations. I have it on the PS3. I have the Platinum on it. The original is a great Sonic game because you got the hybrid of the 2D and 3D. This does not. This shows very little of what is added for extra content, and because they're going for, I think it's like $50 on this, it's like, I don't see enough here to make me want to buy this game again. And they're doing the whole thing of, if you buy the one way, you get 3-day early access. It's like, good, Sega, you want to go this route. And it's like, to get the pre-order, you got to get this. If you want pre-order, get these skins for the original Sonic Adventure Dreamcast model skin. It's like,
yeah.
The original.
Go ahead, Burley. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, if you want to save yourself some money, you can still get this on Steam. The original game on Steam for like $10 or less. So.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not really interested in any of these Sonic games anymore.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and move on. So we scroll down here a little bit more. Dune Awakening. So of course the game based on the film. So we got that coming. Battle Aces. Yeah. So the finals, season 3 is coming now. So and I want to ask you
Oh,
guys though.
Battle
Uh,
Aces was the one. Just play the trailer while you're talking, because it just
about
looks
which
so.
one? Which one?
Battle Aces. It's
Okay.
the one that looks so cool in the animation, and then the game is like,
Okay.
that's like nonsense.
Yeah, sure. Okay. So what did you want to talk about when it came to Battle Aces?
Oh, not just how cool it looks, and then stop. And then you can keep talking about whatever you want to say. But it just looks incredible and epic, and then it's just this basic looking RTS game.
Okay. Well, what I wanted to say, we were talking about the finals, season 3 is coming out and all, but I wanted to know your guys' thoughts on Valorant now coming to console, and whether or not the player base will, on console will come over and start to play Valorant. I mean, because Valorant's been out for such a long time now, but I mean, you know how it is with those type of games when it comes to playing on console as opposed to PC. I mean, what are your thoughts on Valorant now coming to the console space, Burley?
Yeah, this one wasn't a surprise because like we had already had the small dealings with Xbox, with the Game Pass stuff for Valorant, so we all knew it was a matter of time. They want to get this, especially since it's a shooter. It's not like League where it'd be kind of hard to get that on a controller.
Yeah,
but it's like, hey, you know what? It's a free to play, giving more people a chance to play it.
Yeah,
good on that. But for the love of God, people, do not buy Valorant skins, because the prices are insane on them, and the more you do that, the more Riot Games is just going to keep going and going.
Yeah,
but it's free to play, Burley. What else do you spend money?
You want to spend $45 for blue, Carl, to make your gun blue?
I do.
Yeah.
No, I mean, look, I played a little bit of League of Legends, and some of the skins are really, really cool. So, you got a favorite character you play all the time, you might want to buy one.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think in Valorant looked cool. It's a no-brainer. That I don't know why it wasn't on console. Like, Overwatch, I think does well on console. PlayStation's jumping into the fray with Concord, but I feel like this announcement, they're probably like, damn, we're screwed.
Valorant's the king of this because Overwatch is dead, pretty much. It's on its last leg.
It still has a player base, right? I think it's...
Yeah, but it does because it has the leagues also.
Well,
esports leagues.
I only say it's dead because it took the massive drop off with 2, and with some of the handling of 2, they've lost a lot of their player base.
Yeah,
I think Overwatch and Valorant are like 1 and 2 in this genre, right? I believe.
Yeah.
What about Apex? I mean, Apex is
Apex is a battle royale, right? It is also part hero shooter, right? But these are different, right? These are Overwatch type games, right? Where they're like, is it 5v5 or is it however many it is, right? Like it's not a battle royale. So it's like Concord, it's like Marvel Rivals, right? All of these are that type of game. It should be big. It looks cool. And also watching it, I'm like, hey, you guys who made Arcane, why don't you make a Valorant show too? Because it looks like some really cool characters in that also.
It could be in the works. Who knows? Yeah, we shall see. All right, next up, Night Springs. Burley, we're getting DLC for Alan Wake 2. Yeah, and I'm excited for this because we're getting some other characters as well. So, yeah. And then we had Sam Lake on stage. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah.
He was having fun.
He was having fun at the beginning. He was saying that's the only reason they would let him go on stage. But, yeah. So,
see, I love this. Like, if I really enjoyed Alan Wake 2, and this is what surprised me on this is we knew they were getting DLC because when they sold the game, they had that deluxe edition.
Yeah.
But we didn't know exactly what we were getting. and then it's showing here, hey, won all these awards. You're getting 3. They're about an hour, a little over an hour, depending if you go for all the collectibles and stuff.
Right.
Stories that you're playing as different characters. The first one you're playing as Rose. If you remember her from the first game, she is in the second game, Alan Wake 2. So you got her. You've got Sam Lake back. You've got the one character from
Quantum Break.
Yeah.
Quantum Break and
Break.
yes, and from Control. Yes.
Yep.
Wait, does he?
Yep.
Do you get to play as him?
Yeah, you play as in each episode. You're playing as a different character.
Does he have all his like time powers?
I don't know. Maybe
that I'd have to ask. I know one friend's already bought it because the thing is this just drops today. It came out today.
Yeah.
It was like
it drops.
Yeah. So it's
now.
really thing, and like the deluxe edition I know is on sale. The upgrade on PlayStation's on sale right now.
Right.
I think for Canadians with the tax, it's like $23 instead of the $28. So.
Yeah. See, like I didn't play it. So like this trailer, I'm like, well, I mean, I'm not going to play the DLC without playing, Alan Wake 2.
Yeah.
Like, I know the game didn't sell all that well, so it is like, how well is the DLC really going to do?
Yeah, and didn't Burley during the showcase, didn't they announce also that physical copies are also coming to Alan Wake too? Yeah,
they announced it, and everyone's like, "Yay, physical editions!" And then they said the 2 words that people don't like hearing when you say you're doing a physical release: limited run.
Yeah, limited run. Yeah, so.
Because it's just like how expensive these are just to get it physically, and then they have their crazy edition where you have the one little power up and item that Alan has in Alan Wake 2.
Yeah,
I highly recommend the game. I'm gonna definitely pick up these the editions. I just not sure whether I pick them up in the next couple of days or not.
Well, when you pick it up and when you play them, let's do an extra take on those.
Yeah, I was gonna say we'll
let's
definitely
do that. Yeah, I'd love to see if like Carl was asking about the character from Quantum Break, like the time powers and everything else, if those are apparent. So looking forward to that. So New World. So New World's getting some more content here. The Honkai Star Rail had an announcement as well. So MiHoYo's new gacha.
Like, there's more. Yeah, we know. Yeah. You guys don't stop adding content.
Yeah.
No, they're never going to stop.
Yeah.
Right. Dark and Darker. Yeah.
Put it on Xbox, please, maybe.
Yeah.
Dark and Darker looked cool, actually. Not my type of game, but I think it.
Yeah. Kunitsugami, Path of the Goddess. Yeah. So.
That's day 1 Game Pass game, which.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to be very good, but it's a very unique style game.
What did you guys think of this part here? I'm not going to play it, but I mean, it was kind of like it had those like the Office type of element to it, for the Skate, before they showed Skate. I mean, it's like a late 1980s, early 1990s type of Office style. I mean, thing. I was like, okay, let's. What are they doing here? It's like, come on, let's get this over with and show more of the games. I don't know what was going on there. What did you guys think? Early.
This was just like okay. Let's go grab a beer moment.
Yeah.
This was not something. This Skate one, do not watch. They spend most of the trailer on this.
Exactly.
And doing this,
right?
And then they show you like
20 seconds, 10-20 seconds,
of someone skateboarding, and it's like even the skateboarding stuff didn't look that good.
Yeah.
And it's like this game I know has been in early access for years. I'm like,
it just seemed like a time killer, to get through.
This was like, okay, we needed something to help pad this to get to 2 hours.
Yeah.
This was not something. This is a waste. Like, this should have been at one of the other kind of showcases. This is not something that needed to be here.
Well, that's why I feel that this summer Game Fest thing is just way too long. It should be just 1 hour long, but because of the fact that they need the advertising and all, they need the marketing, they need the money, so that's why they're throwing these in there. So, Carl, did
It
you have
was
any
really
thoughts on this?
weird.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know what's going on here. Why should I care? And then it was like skate. I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, I know
Yeah.
people are like excited about this game.
Yeah.
Maybe you should have. I don't know. I feel like you turn people off, and then people are like, oh yeah, okay, it's skate, cool. Like,
yeah. Pal World. Yeah. So getting Sakurajima. So yeah. Another piece of content there. Yeah.
Yeah, a couple new pals, new boss, new area, and end of June, which is great. Like I plan to go back and really dive into it because I know they've had some other small content drops. It's nice to see they keep pushing forward in Xbox dedicated servers. So those of you playing on Xbox, if you want to just play with Xbox only players,
right?
I thought that was interesting, significant. Does that mean it fixes the problem where people said like on Xbox is less players per like together at once, or you can only have a certain like a limited amount of players versus PC was like much bigger?
Yeah.
I feel like that the dedicated server thing would fix that, although I don't know.
Well, it's also helped because like PC, I can spin up like one of my coworkers. He actually bought a physical server and made and installed the Power World tools, made the own server, and we can just join on in and do stuff.
Okay. I looked at the Alan Wake 2 thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the segments have different names, and that one is called Timebreaker. And it says the actor who bears an uncanny resemblance to the Bright Falls Sheriff Tim Breaker is a multiversal hero in the game Timebreaker.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, I mean, I haven't played it, so like Tim Breaker is a character in Alan Wake 2 who is played by Sean Ashmore. Mm-hmm. Now, he is not the same guy as in Quantum Break, but I mean, I know there's a lot of weird shenanigans going on, so who knows?
Okay.
At least maybe they'll be like, oh, it's the guy from Alan Wake 2, but actually he's got time powers in this. So, haha, it is a little bit of taste of your Quantum Break there.
Yeah. There you go. Arena.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Yeah. For Power World, yeah.
The game like doesn't have anywhere near the amount of players it used to.
Yeah.
It's still doing well, but yeah, like the drop off. Because the thing was, like, I love the game. I bought the damn game.
Yeah. You want to know something? You want to know something though? In Japan here, when I go into Yodobashi, when I go to that little Xbox corner that I talk about all the time, they're promoting Pal World there. So
that makes sense.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Anyway, the Valorant. Go ahead, Burley. You had something else.
I was gonna say, like, Power World, it like people hit points in the game where it's like, okay, I've gotten all this kind of stuff. I've done everything major. There's no more higher challenges and stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, because the game is in early access, so people kind of hit a wall. I was getting to about the midpoint of the original, and I was like, okay, you know what? I want to play some different stuff. I want to see what kind of comes out for the next little while. And I'll give them that. They did a great job on the game. I'm curious to see what they keep doing, and I'm curious to see if it'll maybe make Game Freak think their decisions more.
So anyway, the Sakurajima update on the 27th. Yeah. So then we got the console, of course. So we talked about this a little bit earlier, the console announcement for Valorant. And then we got Monster Hunter Wilds. We got more of that, and just expect more and more and more of this game, because this is probably going to be one of the biggest selling games of next year besides GTA 6, which is going to blow everything away. So, I mean, when it comes to Nintendo games, Monster Hunter Wilds is probably going to be, unless there's a new Zelda or Mario game, I would expect this to be the biggest seller on the Switch and the new Switch that's going to be coming.
Well, this isn't on Switch, right? Yeah, it only says PC, PlayStation.
Not on regular Switch, but the Super Switch, I'm sure they'll
yes,
work
it
on.
will be on the Super Switch for
we'll
sure.
see.
Yes,
We'll see.
yeah.
Whenever that thing comes.
Every other Monster Hunter game has been on the Nintendo platform, so I wouldn't,
Worlds wasn't, right?
Worlds was not, but it got the exclusive stories for Monster Hunter Story 1 and 2, and then the Sun and Dawn.
And then they had Rise, which then which was Switch exclusive, and then later ported to. Yeah, I mean, look, I can see that happening, but who knows? Maybe it's too advanced.
Let me just tell you this much, Carl. Out here in Japan, I don't know about in the United States. You can talk about that, but out here in Japan, every kid plays Monster Hunter pretty much, and they're gonna play it on the Switch. So I'm sure they're
run on Switch too.
It'll run on Switch too. I'll bet you a case of spiritual opium on that one. So anyway, so Monster Hunter Wilds, and we showed some of that in the intro.
It's a pretty looking game, I guess.
It is for sure. Now, finally, they showed Phantom Blade Zero.
They did.
So this game, I mean, I don't know, but to me, it seems inspired by Bloodborne. But I don't know. What are your guys' take on, Phantom Blade? It looks amazing, and I'm really excited for when it comes. The combat is going to be intense. So Burley, I'll start with you. What do you think? Do you think this game was a bit inspired by Bloodborne?
I can see where you think why you think that. From what little I have played of Bloodborne, I can get the vibes from Bloodborne. And this seems to me this is just generally inspired by FromSoft in general.
Right.
You get a lot of FromSoft vibes on this. Mm-hmm. It looks good. It has me interested.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And just the world too. I mean, it's,
that poor horse.
Yeah. Yeah. These type of games are not for the faint of heart. Go ahead, Carl. Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely a Souls-like, and that's sort of where I checked out, because I was like, those games aren't for me, right? And this is the game that last time they showed it, a lot of people were like, "That's not real gameplay." So, and then now they show it here, and then this looks. I mean, it doesn't look, I think, as crazy as it looked previously. So.
This main character that they're showing off here reminds me a lot of Sekiro. The character in Sekiro.
Realm, right?
Same
Sekiro,
realm.
Bloodborne, Dark Souls, right? It looks a bit more fast paced.
Yeah.
The studio making it did mobile stuff. They're throwing in these quick time events and stuff to it. But it's just it's like a faster paced, Souls-like. And, all right, whatever. I've seen so many. There's so many of those Souls-likes out there. Like, if you like that genre, cool. This might be for you.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so I want to get a little bit to kind of like the fan reaction type of situation here. So there was no GTA 6 announcement here. Obviously, they're probably waiting to show that at the Game Awards. We're probably going to get the GTA stuff. Everything for 2025 is going to be the Game Awards, right? But it probably disappointed some fans that GTA 6, wasn't announced or wasn't shown at all or anything like that. So my final question about this to you guys is, how important do you think managing fan expectations is for these kind of events now, and how can developers balance surprises with meeting fan demands, do you think, especially for these types of showcases? Carl?
It's tricky. With Summer Game Fest, for example, the cat's out of the bag, your expectations are always going to be high because you set yourself up as the sort of E3 replacement. And if you don't have big, flashy premieres and announcements, then you're not going to get a lot of love, right? And that's what happened this year.
Yeah.
And then you want to talk about state of play. I think, again, they're always setting expectations, right? I think properly. Even Jeff Keighley played this one down a little bit because clearly he knew. Like I don't, don't expect like these huge things everybody's like throwing out there, right?
Yeah,
But
like
that's
what
you
was it?
set up.
The one game that everybody was disappointed that
Kingdom
he
Hearts
said that
for
Kingdom Hearts. Yeah,
Yeah, right.
exactly. Yeah, that's not coming. So
Yeah, and so State of Play, like they did it too, where they're usually saying ahead of time like it's third party stuff, or this time they said it's like they said all the first party stuff is this year, right? That was what they specifically said that. So you knew you weren't going to see Wolverine, right?
Right.
You knew you weren't going to see Ghost of Tsushima 2.
Yeah.
But there are people who don't pay attention to those things. So they think that those shows might have those things. And that's why you get disappointed, right?
Yeah.
But State of Play showed things also into 2025 because again, they didn't say other stuff beyond PlayStation first party wasn't going to be 2025. So I think there's just like people not reading carefully enough, or also just not paying attention to those things and just making their own expectations. So it's tough, right? I honestly think like Nintendo Directs, Nintendo fans like know what to expect, so they're always pretty much happy, right?
Right.
And the Xbox showcase is still gunning for that big bombastic E3 type of show every year, right? So I think that one always seems to make people happy.
Yeah.
But beyond those, I mean, like, it's hard because people have their own expectations and they often don't pay attention to what you say about it.
Yeah. I look at it when it comes to the Nintendo side of things. I look at it as they sit back and watch, because the focus in the Summer Game Fest and a lot of these, events that are coming in upcoming days, it's PlayStation, PC, Xbox, the majority of it, right? And so like the Switch, the Nintendo, they're just kind of like, they're sitting back, they're watching, they're like, okay, interesting stuff. And then they do their own stuff. They do their directs, When it comes to these events though, I just, my final say on this is it's kind of becoming like the movie industry used to be. We had, like, in the gaming sphere, we had E3. Now E3 no longer exists. And that used to be the big, the big event, and it was in the summer, right? Of course. Mm-hmm. But I think things are moving like the movie industry have moved. Back when I was a kid, it was all about the summer season. It was all about the big blockbuster Hollywood movies would come out in the summer. Now they come out in the winter. They come out during Christmas season. And so I think with the video game industry, it's doing the same. Summer Game Fest is just the little event that builds up to the Game Awards at the end of the year, because that's when they're going to show all the big stuff. That's just my feeling. Yeah.
Is his bigger event.
Yes.
I mean, it is.
Yes.
I don't know really why exactly that happened. I guess because Summer Game Fest was a replacement event, right? So, and remember E3, it was Sony's show, it was Microsoft's show, or Xbox, and it was Nintendo's show.
Yeah.
And once it stopped being that was the end. It was dead, right? And I know sometimes other studios or other publishers had their showcases too. We're jumping in on that, but once that died, everybody's like, well, I don't know, we'll go when we want to go, and Microsoft is the one who's stayed there and like, no, we're still going to do that summer thing. And I appreciate that. I love the fact that we can always count on them being there at a specific time of year.
Right.
It bugs me that Nintendo doesn't tell you ever when it's coming, and Sony sort of like tried to be consistent and be around that time, but then they weren't sometimes, and they aren't this year. So like, give me some consistency at least.
Burley, your thoughts?
Yeah. Well, like, at least for this event, Jeff did, because there was the whole Twitter controversy with him, because people were all upset because they were asking about Kingdom Hearts 4, was
Yeah.
going to be there, and there was that whole controversy on that.
Yeah.
Like he did say, and he said a few other games, like, yeah, they're not coming. They're not going to be there. So it's at least there. But to like with something Carl said earlier, you don't look for this. You don't see this on social media. You're never going to see it. And then you're going to get mad. Why wasn't this there? Why wasn't that there?
Mm-hmm.
If you don't sit and pay attention and read all the different stuff, it's like, yeah, we all have our expectations and all that because like this is a replacement event from E3.
Yeah, but would you agree though that I mean this is kind of just the placement? Okay, we'll the summer season now is kind of like, okay, let's throw out the the games that we know a little bit about and the games that are coming out in the month or two ahead, but the winter, when it comes to the game awards, that's like Carl said, that's the Keeley's big event, and that's when you see all the huge big AAA games that are going to be coming.
Yeah, I agree on that.
Yeah, I mean, because I like I said,
that gets the biggest viewership. I'm pretty sure, right? The Game Award gets like monster. Yeah. So that's why everyone wants to be there and show their thing off, and
hopefully now, Burley will be there this year. Yeah. So yeah,
as long as I can get a ticket,
you're gonna represent the arena there, for us, hopefully. Yeah. So,
we've seen a change in, and really it was probably Cyberpunk that did this, where everybody wants to not show off their games too far off from launch.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that makes it more difficult for a show like this to get these type of games, to get the big announcements, because these companies don't want to go too far away, and they want to be able to control it better, and they have their own showcase probably, so they're like, we'll just show it on our own time frame. Or even if they don't, they're like, oh, we'll just show it, whatever. Like look at Dragon Age, what they rename it to, the Veilguard or something, right? Instead of Dreadwolf. They just out there announced it like, oh yeah, gameplay on June 11th. Don't bother watching any of these showcases. We got you covered. We don't even have our own showcase. Just come for our one game, and people will watch it, and it'll get talked about just as much.
Yeah. It's just there's just way too many showcases now. I mean, it's just become saturated, and so
I love a good showcase, but they're not. I don't know. This isn't doing it right. Like it's not. Look. I know the Xbox showcase is going to kill it. Like it killed it the last year and the year before that, Like,
well, let's talk about that.
Doing it. They're still doing that. Like, we're going to give you like massive stuff, and now more than ever. They own so much that they will always have a lot of content to show you.
Yeah. Well, let's get to that. I mean, our little predictions of what's going to happen. Obviously, we know Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is going to be coming to Game Pass day one. So, obviously, they're going to be showing off a lot of the gameplay and some of the mission elements to the game. I'm excited for that. But the Xbox showcase... Yeah, we'll probably get a release date, I think, Carl, for Indy Jones. We'll get that, and for Avowed.
For sure. Unless they're delayed, they should be there with dates.
Yeah, but and we're gonna be doing live reactions to this event, so hopefully you can join us for that here on the Arena Productions. But what are your thoughts, Carl? What are your predictions? What is a safe bet, and what is a kind of from left field a prediction you might have for this event?
Oh, I got okay. Safe bet. Okay. Let me start. What I think is a super safe bet. Okay, Gear 6 has got to be shown off here. Right? I think it's like absolutely like it's time to show that game. Right?
Will it go multi-platform?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Maybe if there's a Gears like collection of some sort, which people want to say exists, but there isn't really evidence. But
okay, before you go on, will the Master Chief collection go multi-platform?
No, it won't.
Because they're talking about maybe Combat Evolved is going to be remastered again or something like that, and that could go multi-platform.
Yeah,
But,
there's
yeah.
possibly a remake. I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know if that sounds like so far away. If that's happening, right?
Mhm.
Like, why are we talking about that now? Because maybe 2-3 years from now, everybody's like, yeah, of course it's on PlayStation, right? But like, who the hell knows? Like, this seems so weird to even mention that now. I hate when they say stuff like that. Like, we just wait till they actually start announcing anything else multi-platform, because so far it was those 4 games and it's been silence. Right? There's been nothing, no actual concrete evidence, right, of anything.
So your safe bet is we're going to see some.
That's my super safe bet. The other one that I want to say is that I think is a safe bet, because I think it's definitely time, and there's some talk. State of Decay 3. Like, I cannot wait. I really want to see that. I think it's going to be.
That's what a lot of people are saying. Yeah.
I think it's going to be. I think it's going to wow us, hopefully.
And
now I'm going to go with a plausible in some way, but way out in left field, possibly. But it's a thing that could exist. Lost Odyssey 2. And let me tell you why, because I've been waiting on this for a long time. Is that Hironobu
Sakaguchi-san, yeah.
Final Fantasy creator who made Lost Odyssey as well. 2 years ago now, said in an interview that he had some idea. He had some. He was approached, right, for a couple of ideas. On games, right. Yeah. And that he was in the planning stages of like making something new, right.
Yeah.
But it's been 2 years and we've not seen a single word about what he's actually working on. It's like, in my heart, I hope Xbox came to him and said, "Look, here's all this money. Just make us we want a JRPG, and Lost Odyssey is awesome, and like you're the only one who can do it. Please, do it."
Burley seems a little fidgety there. What's up, Burley? What do you think? Yeah, will we get a Lost Odyssey?
I don't think we're getting a Lost Odyssey 2. I would like to see it happen. Don't get me wrong, but I can't see that happening.
Yeah. My left field one is we get gameplay and a release date for Fable. So that's
so left field. That could happen.
I don't. If we're gonna see Fable, I think it's a very short, just to show you at the end.
Well, the left field part is the release date, but I mean, it's because it's
look. There's not going to be a date, but they could say like 2025, like
a release window or something like that. Yeah. Or here's the way farthest left field one. GTA 6 day one Game Pass.
No chance.
That is no chance in hell that.
Well, hey, that is like a couple of years ago we never would have thought that Call of Duty, the new Call of Duties would come to Game Pass.
But they bought Activision. That's the only reason that's happening.
They might buy Rocksteady or
Hey, Microsoft could afford to do that, but it would be a bad decision.
I don't think Satya is going to give them the money on that.
No, Microsoft ain't buying Rockstar. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay. Burley, your thoughts? Safe bet.
Safe bet.
Yeah.
Avowed release date.
Yeah.
And that is coming. This.
How about Tomb Raider? The new Tomb Raider. Will we get
chance. That? Yeah, I think we could see that.
I hope so. I want to see that.
There is a chance we'll get that. See that. Yeah. Now, as for out of left field, Banjo. Banjo coming back. Just a small teaser.
Yeah.
I have a little conspiracy theory on Banjo, and this doesn't.
Okay.
But Playtonic did. I don't know if you just saw. They recently just announced that they're doing like a remaster of Yooka-Laylee.
Oh, yeah.
Right, and it just seems weird, right? Like, why? Why now? Why are we doing a remake of that? Like, it looks really nice. It's a nice visual update, right? So in my head, I'm like, all right, conspiracy theory. Like, maybe Microsoft did approach them to do Banjo because they're people who originally worked on Banjo, right?
Yeah.
And maybe this is them like sort of like, practicing, working on like a higher end, another style. Like they've been working on, this on the side while like everyone's working on, Banjo, right? Because this can't be their main project, right? Like what else are they working on? Like they're not just working on a remaster of the game they just, the only game they made. That seems odd.
Well, they made a sequel kind of thing to it, like a
Like side scrolling one. Yeah.
Yeah, so or spin-off, yeah. No, you never know, but it could happen. I don't know if Banjo will happen, but out of anything that they own, I would love to see them try. Give us
one
something.
day it's going to happen. I tell you, it's going to happen. Whether it's, I don't know if it's time yet, but it's going to happen.
Want to welcome in our other contributor and co-host Fubu87. He's like saying, "Let's go," and he says, "Damn, Banjo coming back with Crash Bandicoot graphics would be dope." Yes, it would be.
There you go,
for sure. Here's another one. It could be a safe bet, I think, because I talked about this a while back as well. Yakuza 8, Like a Dragon 8, coming to Game Pass. I think that will happen.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, I think that should be. It's about time for that to happen now, I think. So for sure. So, all right. So let's move on to Ubisoft Forward. So live from LA on the 10th. We're going to get the Star Wars Outlaws. We're going to get more of the gameplay of that. I'm really excited for that. But the biggest one for me, Assassin's Creed Shadows. I want to see the gameplay. I want to see what we're going to do as Yasuke. I want to see what we're going to be doing as the other shinobi in this game. I mean, the safe bet is the shinobi gameplay elements will be more stealthy, whereas Yasuke will be more, like brute type of boss battle type of fights. I'm really excited to see how Nobunaga is depicted in this game. We'll probably see that as well. So more of the elements of the game and the extended gameplay of that. Besides those two, what other things do you think we'll see at the Ubisoft Forward, Burley?
We'll see definitely that other Prince of Persia game.
Yeah.
Because that they've kind of they're releasing in early access, so we got that. There's the Pie in the Sky, because now they've announced other studios are working on Sands of Time remake.
Yeah.
Get something on that.
Yeah.
And maybe get some update on Splinter Cell. I'm sure we'll get like your Just Dance moment, because they're always going to do that. And,
my out of left field moment for this showcase would be the announcement for the Division 3. I think it's about time for that.
They just canceled that other Division thing. Right?
Yeah.
I don't know what it was.
But
there's probably, excuse me, I'm sure that they could be secretly working on the Division 3 now. So it's that time, I think. So
you know what we're gonna see? Skull and Bones.
Yeah, you'll definitely get that.
Dude, I thought you were gonna say Beyond Good and Evil too. I mean,
no,
that game's dead.
Not that delusional.
Yeah.
But seriously, though, if that game's not canceled, like, come on, you can tell us, like, what's going on? Like, just cancel it already if you're not making it, right? Like, please do us all a favor. Okay. They gotta have. I hope they have something like new, right? Like that we don't know.
A new IP or something. Yeah.
Even if it's not a new IP, like I don't know. Supposedly they're doing like a Assassin's Creed Black Flag like remaster or something.
Right.
Like okay, let's show us that. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Splinter Cell, like tease that. Because that is in development.
Yeah.
Give us something like that we haven't seen / like isn't officially like announced, right?
A new Watch Dogs.
No, Watch Dogs is dead. Just move on. It's not like I don't think that franchise is interesting, but like I think it's just kind of. I don't think it's ever gonna be big at this point.
Well, Watch Dogs Legions was actually pretty good. I mean, it's just a lot of people.
It looked fun. I wanted to try.
Yeah, skipped out on it. Yeah, because I mean, it's like everybody you walk up to on the street, like the NPCs, you could actually have dialogues and actually recruit them and all. How about Far Cry? Another Far Cry?
We're not like there yet. Yeah,
not there yet.
Some time for another one. Yeah.
Okay.
Unless they got like one of those spin-off ones.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
was it Far Cry? Far Cry Primal was amazing. I love that game.
I like
Winja. Yes, I love that. Good stuff. So that's the Ubisoft Forward. Yeah, live from LA on the 10th. So looking forward to that. So time for a little bit of programming notes. So before we end our episode, I put out the first video recap and review for Star Wars The Acolyte, episodes 1 and 2. So that is up on the Arena Productions here now. Please check that out. So yeah, The Acolyte, guys. We have started getting some High Republic stuff, and it's interesting in the episode where they talk about when they talk about the murder of the Jedi in the first part. Spoilers if you haven't seen it yet, but it's been out for a while. They talk about, we have to keep this, kind of to ourselves because of the fact that it could, if this leaks out that, a Force user murdered a Jedi, then it could, it could help our political enemies, which was really interesting, I thought, in the episode. So who are the Jedi's political enemies during the High Republic? So anyway, go and check out that recap and review. So
they're like, we don't want people to know that we're like weak and we can just be killed by some rando, right? I mean, obviously, like, not random, but still, I was like, you're telling me this character is supposed to be like a Jedi master, and she's getting killed by someone without a lightsaber. I guess. Yeah, the show's. I'm not sold yet. Like, I think it's interesting. I'm hoping like episode 3 is gonna like do something to like, oh, okay, this is cool now. Right now, I think the story is just sort of like, okay, it's fine, but everything else is good.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna mute you there, Carl, for a second until your daughter stops banging on the door. So, all right. So, are you back? Okay, there you go. Okay. So.
I muted myself. Just
okay. I just because that boom 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 boom. Yeah. She's getting restless, I know. So, okay. All right. So anyway, it's time for our indie recording artist spotlight to finish the show. And just before we do that, just want to let you know that we will be covering the Xbox event with the Call of Duty. So please come and join us live for our reactions to that when that happens. That's happening tomorrow, I think. So at I think it's at 1 p.m. Eastern time. So yes.
Yep.
So yeah. So looking forward to that. So anyway, so time for our indie recording artist spotlight. So this week's spotlight is on Jane and the Boy. So Jane and the Boy are a duo who work remotely between the United States and the UK. Their style could be described as indie pop infused with singer-songwriter bops. From their album titled Catch Me, and the song is called Highway. So this has been the Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast, episode 173. I've been your host, Expat, along with my co-hosts and contributors, Burley of Burleman Gaming and Turn-Based Carl. And we hope to catch you for the Xbox event tomorrow, live as well for our reactions. And we hope to also catch you next week in the next episode. So anyway, take care, everybody, and have a great week of gaming. Peace out.